Hi, Kiwi. All right. Oh, oops.
For you, mate. Thought you might get a kick out of this.
Well, I accidentally pressed a button. Oh well.
For me, pal? Awful nice of you, just awful nice. But guess what? I got this for you. Tit for tat, you understand? A deal's a deal.
Cheers, mate.
Like, okay, so we're starting to get our, what are they, trinkets? Well, hi, Kiwi. I accidentally pressed the right button and gave Skelly an ambrosia. That's fine.
Hi, everyone.
We'll collect more anyway. Today I'm going to be running the bow one more time, and hopefully I'll be able to beat Hades on this attempt. I'm not making any promises again, but...
Looks like a Daedalus hammer.
Finally. I've been looking for
my
these.
weapon.
Let's see, attack shirts 2 by... I think Twin Shot was really strong, so I'm going to go with this.
Daedalus, wherever you may be right now. Thank you.
Yeah, that effectively doubles my damage for now. And if I can roll an Aphrodite passive on the auto attack, it's going to be really strong.
The underworld, its ever-shifting chambers realign to frustrate his attempts to perhaps map it out.
Built to ensure no one gets out. We'll see about that.
Alright, so yeah, we're just going to jump right into the run. And yeah, getting the Daedalus Hammer is actually a huge boon. This one, if I recall, is very strong, especially if I can eventually get the Aphrodite passive. Reflecting on the last run, I do think I should, if I'm going to take a special attack passive, I should probably go for either Zeus if it can cause Chain Lightning, or Demeter, but I don't think Demeter shows up yet, so I can't really get her boons. But basically, I want to use my special attack as a debuff. So I could go for Aphrodite because it'll reduce the damage that enemies deal, or I could go with what's his face? Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting him. Dionysus, that's it. You could go with Dionysus. I could go with Dionysus because he applies a damage over time effect. It's effectively poison. And I think that would be pretty strong because you can stack it up very quickly, since the special attack, just if I'm close enough, will do a whole bunch of hits all at once. But this run already feels a fair bit stronger than the last one, just because I got that single Daedalus Hammer. If I recall, you can only take 2 Daedalus Hammers per run, and of course there's RNG to what you actually get from them. But
This can unlock something.
awesome, we're gonna start off with Zeus. That'll be pretty helpful if I can get his cast again. For example, his cast was doing so much work, and if I can roll a lightning rod, I bet that would help a lot. Lightning Rod kind of carried the last run, honestly. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, cool.
Even when you reach the surface, Agrius, you call upon me then and there, all right? I'll personally see to it that you'll be escorted up to Olympus, and your quest shall be complete.
Sounds nice, Uncle Zeus. Let's see. Attacks, Chain Lightning, the cast, and the dash. I think I'm going to save the attack again and go for the cast on this one. Oh, excellent. Always happy to receive more resources that can benefit us in the long run. Oop. Ah, shoot, I dashed right onto that. Oh, well, not much I can do about that other than play better, you know? You do have to deal with the shorter range, which is a little bit more difficult against these dashy type enemies because, well, it's much harder to dodge them if I have to charge up a shot. But it's fine. They're pretty slow. Pretty much all the enemies on the first floor are very slow. I'm trying to remember if maybe the build I'm remembering had a special... I'm pretty sure it was linked to a specific aspect weapon, too. I forget if they were called aspects, but a weapon. So, for those who are unfamiliar with this game, the way it works is as you progress through the game, each base weapon unlocks 3 to 4... I think it's 4 different forms that change up fundamentally how they play. And the bow, like, there are builds where you specialize into special attack, so this move. There are builds where you specialize into the auto attack or casting. I know the shield has a very fun one where you go into special attack and basically you're playing like Captain America, where the shield just bounces off of everything. It's pretty fun. I wouldn't mind doing that again sometime. Alright, I think we got this guy. And one more shot. There we go. That's one. Also, I forgot how good the music in this game is. I won't say this is one of my favorite songs in the game, but I'm looking forward to when we finally run into Euripides and Odysseus.
Anyone else?
Alright, Dionysus.
Again, as ever, Zag. Now you keep at it like you have been, and I bet we'll all be hanging out up here in no time flat. I'm with you all the way.
Cool. Alright, dash causes a hangover where you started. You take less damage, or restores all HP. Okay, this is a game changer. This honestly might make it so we can win if I can just survive the boss fights. I really did kind of blow it pretty badly at Hades, but I also was starting at half my full HP, which is
Brimstones.
an ideal situation to be in as well. So
You're late.
I will definitely perform better if I remember how Hades' attacks works. But the other big difference, the other huge upgrade that I got since the last time I fought him, was I can now dash twice in a row. And I think that's part of my issue, is I was trying to... I think I had the muscle memory of having multiple dashes, and the way I was trying to evade him kind of proved that, I think. I'm gonna take the palm here, I think. I only need so many boons. Like, unlike Lotus Lantern, where it seemed like you could effectively infinitely stack boons to a degree. In Hades, you really have to be a little bit more selective of what you get if you're not rolling the passes. But every god has a set of a limited number of boons that you can get from them. And after you exceed that point, they don't really give much. They don't. Well, it's not that they don't give more. It's that you have to trade out things that you already have for them potentially. So, I think the things I'm looking for are, one, getting jolted on my electric type moves, because that'll make it so when I drop my cast, I can jolt a bunch of people. I do think that getting Lightning Rod again would be pretty awesome. It really did make learning, or the Skeletal Hydra much easier to beat. But I'm certainly amenable to other options, especially since I don't remember all of them. Like, I have recollections of the Artemis Ares combo for their cast, which was incredibly strong. But I don't fully remember all the fun gimmick builds that I used to run. But for now, damage up on our cast is always welcome. Alright, ooh, Athena. We can hopefully get her dash. Athena's dash is really good for defensive purposes. I used it in my first attempt, but I didn't really get to show it off because I was too busy just eating hits from Meg. But I'm always happy to see Athena. One mechanic I'm remembering that we haven't run into yet is I think it's called a call, where you can summon kind of a special attack with a meter, or like, it's almost like the artifacts, I would say, now that I think about it, from Lotus Lantern. It summons the powers. It's another ability you can get from the gods. It runs on an energy bar to activate, and some of them are really strong passives or active abilities.
It comforts me to see how far you've come, cousin, and I am confident that you shall make your way eventually. I shall look forward to our conversations then.
I love Athena's little owl on her finger there. It's really cute. Little hoots and toots. Alright, attacks are 77% stronger and can deflect. That sounds really strong. Not really the ones I want, and this is a pretty appealing option. There's no guarantee I'm going to find Afro on this run. I'm going to hold out until... It's not Phlegathon. What was it? It starts with an... I've already forgotten the name of the second floor because I didn't get the commentary. I think for now what I will do is... Honestly, the trap resistance sounds pretty solid because I don't get hit by traps a lot, but when I do, they usually do a ton of damage. So I'm gonna take that. Objectively speaking, the 5% damage reduction from enemies is probably the better option, but it's fine. Either way, we're taking less damage when I make a mistake, and that's what we need. That's one of the things we need most right now, survivability on top of damage. Although I will say I find that in this game, good damage is effectively the best form of survivability, because it's kill things before they can kill you. And especially when I'm lacking in resources that can help me survive a run, like HP, revives, dashes, all the defensive tools that I'll unlock as I progress further through the game. Until I have those things, hold on. These guys are kind of annoying with their tracking lasers. They don't have a lot of HP, but they do hurt. Oh yeah, and of course having more than one cast will be nice too. That'll happen eventually, hopefully. At least these guys have a maximum range, so I can pretty much safe spot them if I'm careful. I also very much appreciate that the homing and tracking on the cast is pretty long.
A key to a weapon.
Oh, cool. We have four keys now, which means we can unlock another weapon. Maybe I'll try the shield on the next run. And we should have enough gold to afford something. Dionysus Spoon. We could stack up on our special, I think.
No urns permitted in this chamber.
You said it, Zag. Alright. No urns at all. Alright, what do you have to say?
You are a sight for sore eyes there, Charon. So, looks like you're selling. Is that it? You come to help me out? Brilliant.
He truly has some of the wisest words to say. Alright, let's go ahead and take this.
Hey, what's with that Charon, man? He's sort of, I don't know. I am glad he's been of service.
Alright, attacks inflict hangover, gain HP when I pick up an ambrosia. If your HP is low after encounters, restore to the threshold, 50%? Whoa, okay, that's pretty strong. We're taking that. Alright, so we've got some extremely potent survivability boons now. That will make this a lot easier.
And there you are again. Lord Hades ought to lock you up rather than let you run amok in his domain like this.
I'm sure he'd welcome all this feedback from you, Meg. Or maybe you're just pining for my father's job.
I have no envy for your father's position. Besides, I happen to enjoy my own responsibilities.
I really like Meg in this game. I'm looking forward to when Thanatos shows up too, because he's really cool. All of the characters here are really fun. Like there isn't a character in this game I abjectly dislike. Dusa can be a little bit much, but I still really like her. She's very funny, and she clearly becomes progressively more into Zagreus. Take out her minions here. Alright, so she'll start doing her projectile attacks, which is honestly kind of nice because it gives me an opportunity to attack her for free if I position appropriately. Although it seems like we're going... she unlocked that attack in the third phase last time. I'm now having flashbacks to the fact that these guys, their abilities do change out in... or not... I wouldn't say their abilities change, but they have different versions that you can fight. Oop, I took a chunk there. That's fine. I'm still below the amount that I'd heal if I clear the floor without any more damage. Just gonna try and take out some minions. Bail out. But I just have so much damage just because of that one Daedalus Hammer. Like, Daedalus Hammers, they're the equivalent of the technique manuals from Lotus Lantern. They just give me so much damage potential if I can use them appropriately. Try and take these guys out so they don't confound me. Alright, on to the final phase. Yeah, she... Oops, got hit. Honestly, like, her attacks start out so slow in comparison to what they become later on. I really like having the second dash. It makes such a difference. That'll... Honestly, the dash and the Daedalus Hammer are probably all I need to win this run at this point. That's a gross understatement and an overselling of my abilities. But still, it kind of feels that way. That one's so much easier than the last round. Alright, on to the next floor. And now this should heal me up a fair bit, because it heals me up to full, and it gives me 4% more damage, which is always welcome.
Don't mind me, Father.
Okay. Anything here I want? Tinge of Erebus is appealing for the long game, but I think I'll save my coin.
Should I take the trade?
I could sell this. I'll consider selling this down the road if there's something I really need, like a resurrection or something. Because I don't have to worry... I missed a talking point. Oops. I guess I'm kind of used to not having to care about those in my previous playthrough because I think exhausted all of them after having played so much. Asphodel, that's the name of this place. The lake,
This place has definitely seen better days.
the lava itself, or the lake, if you will, is Phlegethon. That's what I mixed that up last episode. All right, and I'm not missing it this time.
The once verdant plains of Asphodel are now engulfed in scintillating flame, having been flooded by the river Phlegethon, whose hideously superheated contents could bring death swiftly even to those resistant to most heat.
I love this guy's voice.
Flame resistant, not flame proof.
That guy's voice is just, yeah. Don't worry, Kiwi. I still like you most of all. Forgot about these enemies. So, it's interesting what I choose to remember, and there are like a bunch of enemy types I remember, and then there are things that I've completely forgot. Like all of the enemies of Elysium to some degree I vaguely remember, although I kind of fused all of the like fallen warriors as I fused them all in my head. Like I forgot that there was both a sword and a spear. I vaguely remember the shield because they were worth the struggle, and I did forget the archers, but now I definitely remember them. Because how could I forget? The archers are probably the biggest pain in the butt to deal with, just because if you're in a room full of enemies that you have to dodge, you have to constantly be mindful of them. Because whoa. Okay, whew, scary.
A palm of power.
All right, my cast now does a pretty solid amount of damage.
Some zest.
If I can find a way to I think there's a way to upgrade the rarity of the boons as well as the base stat of them. The palms obviously upgrade the... Do I want HP or do I want Poseidon? Having trouble deciding whether I want Poseidon. I get the feeling I'm not going to find Aphro this run. Maybe I should have taken the Athena projectile basic attack upgrade. I think for now, because I have so much damage, I'm gonna focus on survivability, and again, I'll stack what I've already got going for me. Because if I split myself if I try to stack myself too substantially between the different gods, I'm going to end up having kind of a Jack of Trades, Master of None sort of build, and those can work, but they can also be kind of underwhelmingly disappointing. Not a fun room. I'm not a fan of this many projectile type enemies, especially with no way to break their I don't think my basic attacks can break their projectiles. Whoa, go in the lava. Just need to kill them as quick as possible is really all it boils down to, which is easier said than done. Okay, I can break their projectiles with my attack, but it takes so long to charge up, it's hard to do that without risking getting hit by something. Whoa. Okay, bud. None of that, please. Alright, well, that one's one more hit from death, and I think that should end the room. There we go. Cool.
Feeling tough.
Yeah, that was a tough room for an HP. Palm to upgrade. I could upgrade my cast a 4th time, but I think I keep going for HP. If I'm going to turn down Poseidon, I definitely shouldn't. For HP, I definitely should turn down a pomegranate.
Wave makers.
Alright, so these guys have the really powerful projectile. They take a fair bit of time to charge up, but they're very inconvenient once they are. Alright, that's good.
Come, wretches.
Zagreus calls for the fight. Whoop. That guy apparently took some damage before I even hit him. Not sure how. Oh. Oof. Yeah, I'm loving having this bonus dash. It makes such a difference. That's why when Hermes starts showing up and he can give you an extra dash as well, he's just such a strong potential boon. He has a lot of strong passives. I think there's one that like makes your damage scale with your movement speed, maybe. I know there's one that massively increases your movement speed, but I think there are a few things that outcompete a bonus dash. Because you have iframes during the dash, and you can chain all of your dashes together.
Time to collect.
It's not like a perfect 100% uptime of iframes when you're spamming dashes, but sometimes it very much feels like it. There she is, Kiwi. Alright, here's hoping she gives us the boon we're looking for. Oh, this mini-boss, I remember you. So I think my strategy was to take out the head first, before even worried about the assistant. Drop in some damages on the statue that falls when I can, but of course she's going to hover above the lava, which makes this a little bit more difficult. Whoa! They are fairly tanky. I'm realizing that my damage may be a little bit more lacking than I initially sold it as, but again, I'm counting on the Aphrodite basic on this room, and that will hopefully carry my damage pretty substantially if I can get it. Oh my goodness, there are so many things trying to hit me at once. Alright, we've almost got this one. Oh, forgot. Okay, it's a Medusa, so it can petrify me. Not ideal. Alright, we finally broke the shield she has, which will hopefully help. We've got some good damage there. Alright, this one's almost dead. Definitely an inconvenient fight. An annoying one. The whole gimmick is basically if she hits you with your projectile, you get petrified, and then the stone golem can just land on you, which does a lot of damage. I imagine if I just sit and get hit by that, I'm going to get hit by quite a chunk. One hit from death. It's fine. And there we go. Took more damage than I would have liked, but not terrible.
Gigantic Gorgon head.
It's gigantic Gorgon head.
You've had a brush with Megara the Fury, haven't you? Oh, I know a thing or two about that one. Though lately we Olympians no longer mingle with those living in the underworld. You're the only exception.
Alright. What do we get? Darn it. We didn't get the basic attack. I mean, I'm going to heal to full no matter what. Although I think this is bonus life gain, so I would gain 30% more from the things that increase my max HP. I think I'm going to take her special attack for now.
Love it.
And let's hope we can find her again for the auto attack buff. But at the very least, now I have a reliable way to reduce enemy damage, because the way Aphrodite's passive works is it reduces damage dealt by enemies by a certain percentage for its duration, which is honestly incredibly powerful when you're using it on the attack that you're constantly spamming. And I may not be spamming my Y button, but I'll make sure that I use it against Hades if I'm not going to be able to find any more Aphro passives the rest of this run. Because I think it goes without saying, taking less damage is always ideal, especially when you're building kind of tanky. A lot of enemies in this room. Ah, shoot, got hit. This is fine. So, the way the bow works is I have to charge, and the longer I charge until a certain cap, the more damage my attack does. And the one downside to the bow is it's rare that you're ever going to fully get off the full charge unless you're positioning appropriately or playing against things with very slow attack rates or are very far away that you can kite. But even then, like even at its like lower range of damage that it can deal, it does a pretty hefty chunk of damage to most enemies. There we go.
Delicious.
Alright, so I can either do more damage with the special, or I think I'm going to keep stacking cast. It's a flat amount of damage, which doesn't make it terribly strong, but it's enough to make a difference. I forget what these kind of rooms are, but I think this might be where we find Euripides, so I want to go do that. I've got 4 keys already, which is plenty. Yeah.
What? Singing? Here?
Come on in.
Okay. Could dash clear through that wall, I think.
Oh, thank you, Zag. I was not sure what you wanted me to do. I remember when I first played Hades, I found this room, and I just sat here for a while. It's such a pretty song, and if you haven't heard the duet between Euripides and Odysseus that someone put together on YouTube, listen to it. It's such a pretty combo.
Hey, you must be the Hades kid. How's it going then, Your Royal Majesty? Nice to meet you. I'm Eurydice. What brings a big, important guy like you up to a place like this?
I've totally been calling her Euripides. Oops. Hi, Eurydice. I know my Greek mythology very well, mind you.
Hi there. No need for formalities, I'm Zagreus. Just heading out on some official business, past the menacing Bone Hydra. Don't mean to be rude, though I'm in a bit of a rush.
Well, don't you have your hands full, hun? I'll let you go. But there's one rule in my place, which is nobody leaves here empty-handed. You got that? So take your pick. My treat.
Right, this is where I can get rarities upgraded. I remember now. Yeah, so this can upgrade 2 boons to the next rarity. Gain +1 level to 4 random boons, or the next 3 boons I find will have upgraded rarity. I think I'm going to take what I already have and upgrade that, and hope it lands on my cast.
Here you go.
It did not.
Really hit the spot.
But what it did give me is now every room I clear will always be at least 60% HP at the end of it. Alright. Not amazing, but it's RNG. You can only get what you can get. Alright. I think this might be the last room before the final boss of the floor. Nope. Yes, it is. Okay. So I don't have enough gold to get the Athena passive unless I luckily find a coin.
Having traversed the flaming river Phlegethon to gain this vantage point, relentless Zagreus must now confront a foe of unimaginable savagery, who lies ahead, awaiting patiently its time to strike.
Way to spoil the surprise, old man.
Oh, you knew what was going to happen to Zagreus. Don't play coy here. Alright, so unfortunately, I can't afford Athena, so I'll just have to take the HP. This is probably where I have the most likely chance to lose the run with my current build. Well, actually, oh gosh, I'm thinking about the Elysium final boss.
Back, just like your stupid heads.
Asterius and Asterius and what's his face, Theseus will be very difficult, unless I can get something to boost my damage pretty reliably. I'm now having flashbacks to the times I've had Athena's dash, and he cast that like multiple shot projectile that he did just this one, and I would just dash forward through all of them and spike them back at him. Alright, next phase, here we go. Just need to stack weak on everything I can to limit how much damage potential they have. Alright. Alright, that's another head down. This honestly feels a little bit easier just because my damage potential is so huge. I just have to be more proactive in dealing the damage compared to the previous attempt where I just dropped a lightning rod and forgot and started focusing on a different enemy. Positioning's a little awkward here just because of those lavas that they dropped. Okay, there we go. My special attack does more damage than my basic attack, but only if I'm point blank, which should be obvious, comes with a fair bit of risk. But, whoa! I forgot he can start shooting those a lot faster. But again, that's the awesome thing about Aphrodite's passive, Aphrodite's debuff, is I'm always going to take 30% less damage as long as I'm remembering to spam my special. Okay, I definitely fell into the lava there. I need to try and take out these guys as quick as possible. I think for now I'll just do chip damage where I can. Focus on dashing away from potential damage otherwise. Oh right, I'm forgetting to use my cast. I should not forget that. It's a pretty... Considering I've gone out of my way to upgrade it a bit, I should probably use it, you know? Alright, that's one down. Oh dear. A lot of things to dodge there. I did not dodge them all.
Scratch.
Ooh. Alright. This boss is a little spooky, but honestly, this feels very doable. I'm not convinced I'm going to lose here. I've got pretty solid damage options and very good survivability overall. I wonder if the lava on the floor counts as a trap and I'm taking reduced damage from that. I remember that in the Temple of Styx, those guillotines that fall from the sky are really the scariest thing in terms of potential damage that I can take. Those things chunk you really hard, if I recall. I just have to be ready for this guy to shoot his, like, rapid-fire attack. Triple chin bash is fine. I can deal with that. But if he starts shooting his projectiles really fast, I have to be ready to do this, basically. Yeah, that's the really nice thing about the special attack on this bow, though, is because it's the spread, it's always going to land and cast and activate its debuff. Alright, there we go.
Heads down.
Heads down. And now I'll be healed back to full because I'm going to get the HP pool here. Man, Dionysus's passive came out big. Anything to sell? No. I can definitely consider selling this, but I think it's a terrible idea if I want to survive. All right, any points of interest? I don't see any glowies. They're tiny little. They're only tiny little glowing circles, so it's hard to notice them a lot of the time. I'll try to be mindful and keep an eye out for them, especially in areas I haven't been before. And I know to expect them here.
Or night in paradise.
I know to expect them in these like landing areas.
The enshrouded river of forgetfulness, Lethe, flows through the hallowed chambers of Elysium, numbing old pains and memories of the most noble shades residing there.
Wait, it's pronounced Lethe?
New pains to recall.
Wait, it's been called Lethe this whole time.
Asterius and Theseus are probably expecting me.
And I am expecting them. For better or for worse. Probably mostly for worse. Oh good, Athena. Alright, hopefully we can get her dash. That'll make it a lot easier to survive the fight against Theseus. But we'll see. We haven't really been rolling the passives that I want, but we have been rolling the passives that I need, so, you know. We're kind of in a weird situation here. So, as far as Lethe goes, I've never really had much context with the name outside of Dungeon Fighter. Back in the day, DFO had a... So DFO is the abbreviation for Dungeon Fighter for those who... I'm going to use those interchangeably, but Dungeon Fighter every character has skills that cost skill points to use, and there aren't enough skill points to completely level up every skill. So you need to kind of pick and choose how you want to build your character, and there are definitely like meta builds, which is not surprising given its nature of an MMO. But the point I'm trying to make is back in the day, before skill point resets were free, there were these items called Lethe's Waters, and I always called them Leth's Waters, but they were how you could reset your skill points when you were trying to respec your build. And oh my goodness, so this game was run by Nexon, so of course it was rarely, if ever, given outside of out of like very special events. You had to buy it with a microtransaction.
I accept this message.
And they were like $20 for a skill reset. It was cheaper to just make a new character, which was free. Attack is stronger and deflects. Your dash... There we go. This is what we want. Unless... this could be useful, but I'd rather just have the guaranteed deflect. Okay, yeah, the dash itself doesn't do much damage, but that's genuinely fine. The other nice thing is now I can break phases very easily by dashing into them. Alright, do I want HP or coin? Coin could guarantee me a boon on the next 2 floors. I still feel like I want to stack HP though, because it's a one is a guarantee, the other is RNG, whether I get the thing I want or not, and I may just end up getting money anyway. So you know, I think this is the route to go. I do think the next time I find an auto attack boon, I'm gonna have to go for it though, because I'm clearly lacking damage now. My cast does work, though. It does quite a chunk. Funny that we haven't seen Zeus aside from the very first boon of the game. No matter. I definitely feel better about this run than the last one. There wasn't any... I mean, Lightning Rod, again, was a substantial bit of damage bonus. But I guess in part it was because I've never really run Lightning Rod for, like, a real build. It never, like, felt like the run was amazing. Like, I'm not going to understate how much damage Lightning Rod did. Oh, I killed him with his own projectile. That's funny. I'm not going to try and understate how much damage that Lightning Rod did. But I guess it's just I've never really used it, so it was hard to appreciate what it could do for me and hard to use it properly. And it really felt like I couldn't use it effectively against Hades very much at all. Just because he was so mobile, it was hard to keep him in range of the attack. But man, we are getting... Oh god, I forgot about these chariot enemies. These are such an obnoxious enemy, if I recall. Yeah, they chase you until they hit something. They're basically mini Asteriuses in terms of how their attack pattern works. But I think if I dash through them, they'll probably stop rolling. Let's try that again. That's awkward. Oh good, rangers that are like super far away. At least they're taking hits from the spears. That's nice. But I'm dealing with 2 archers, which is not ideal. Oh, and that's an example of when having the trap damage reduction probably mattered, because I would have taken such a hefty hit there. I would like you to die, please. Alright. Well, that guy really wanted to just stay by the spears the whole time. Unfortunate. He made some bad life decisions, is all I'm going to say. Alright, there we go. So we have 200 HP now, which is pretty fantastic considering we were starting at, I think, only 50. It may have been 75, I forget. What have we got? A shop or another Dionysus? I really don't want Dionysus on my X attack, but we'll see what he has to offer. I think if the option is for an X attack, unless it's actually better than I remember, I'll probably avoid using Dionysus for my X attack, or for my basic attack here. At least these mini chariots are easy to kite, but if I recall, they do a fair bit of damage just by virtue of exploding on you. Okay, let's try and back out. It's also nice that one hit kind of staggers them so they stop their charge. That's very helpful considering. I think I got all the mini chariots, so we should be good now to just focus on these sword guys. I hope. I definitely am looking forward to having more blood gems, the resource that I use for my cast, because I can feel the lack of them. I think on normal runs, once you've gotten your Mirror of the Night stacked up, you get like 3 of them, which is very substantial, it feels. Alright, so that's 2 of these guys taken care of, and here goes the 3rd. Oop, that was a lucky dodge. Attacks inflict hangover, which does 4 damage every second and stacks up to 5 times. Gain HP, take less damage when below 40% threshold. It's got to be one of these 2. So this one is probably the more immediate gain, but this one, consider what 40% or below means. That's like 80 HP. I think I'm going to take this for now, but if I get another one of these, I'm definitely taking the positive outlook. But it's just, I'm stacking so much HP right now. My survivability chances are pretty up there, especially if I use the weakened abilities appropriately. Don't think I need to buy this. Traps deal more damage. Nah, none of these seem appealing. Okay. I know we eventually unlock the ability to reroll the boons that were offered. I just don't remember when. Alright, Athena or more HP? Athena comes with a mini-boss. The HP does not. I feel like Athena is the correct choice because her basic attack was pretty strong. But I don't know. I don't know. I kind of want to keep stacking HP, but I think this is the better option.
The Bull of Minos.
Oh, right.
You have met the champion, the king. Let us see if you are fit to face him once again.
You mean face both of you together, which doesn't seem particularly fair.
Life isn't particularly fair, Short One, nor death. I'd have expected you to know as much. But here, have your fair fight.
Yeah, I forgot that the mini-boss here would be Asterius, which is definitely unideal, because he's going to chunk me. I definitely should have taken the HP. I was so busy looking at the boon that I forgot the bane associated with it, namely having to fight Asterius. It doesn't feel like I'm doing very much damage to him either, which is a bad... gives me a bit of a sense of dread going into their fight on the next floor. So hopefully I can assuage those fears by virtue of getting a good attack passive. Maybe Athena will take pity on me and try to give me one that ups my basic attack damage by a fair margin, because I already had the chance of getting an epic boon from her. I just chose not to use it in lieu of hoping that I would get Aphro. And I did get Aphrodite, she just didn't want to give me the one thing I was looking for from her. I mean, if we're just fighting Asterius alone, I can pretty reliably no damage him. Why did I choose to say that while he's using his charge attack? I could have said it afterwards or when he's about to die, when I wouldn't have the risk of being hit from my hubris alone. Instead, I took the hit. It really is just incredibly impressive how every moment I think I have earned some degree of confidence, I am just immediately punished. Alright, phase 2. At least, as long as I use my dashes appropriately, I do have a considerable amount of invulnerability. And I have the benefit of making sure that I constantly keep the weak stacked up on him, so he'll always be doing 30% less damage than he would otherwise. With how much HP I have and that damage reduction, it feels like it's a pretty fair amount of survivability I've afforded myself. It's just I've traded damage for survivability, and generally I favor being able to deal damage in terms of over survivability, especially once I get more used to the mechanics of the game, which I don't know if I'm going to argue I have yet, but it feels like I should. Ooh, that one was close. It's just so darn tanky. Maybe he starts off weakened in the next fight, but I don't think he does. For a second I was like, is he gonna say something?
Olympus calls.
Alright. Athena, please take pity on me and give me something good. Resist damage from foes' attacks, a flat 10% damage reduction from enemies, or a 59% increase to my my basic attack damage. Honestly, 10% damage reduction is too good, especially when we have another boon from Athena coming up. So I'm gonna go with that passive and then hope for the better basic attack here. I'm probably gonna get a common on it, and that's gonna feel really lousy. So forgive me for my moment of weakness and greed, but honestly, like again, 10% damage reduction is huge. Especially when I'm already doing 30% damage reduction with weak. The better my survivability, the better chances I have of beating Hades, and that's really what I'm thinking about. Theseus and Asterius are going to be a nightmare to deal with, but I still need to beat Hades after them, so it's like, pick my worst poison. What do I want to die to? Hades in a little while, or Asterius and Theseus sooner? Well, that's assuming I die to them. I don't actually know how this is going to play out. I really don't. Just going to try and get as much damage here as I can. Yeah. I do feel like the Y... Like, I think my preferred setup is the Y attack with Asterius... Or, ooh, what am I saying? The Y attack with Dionysus's passives to stack poison very easily. And then what's it called? And then Aphrodite on my basic attack, so that I can weaken them with what I'm going to be damaging with mostly. Oh gosh, there's another wave. Okay, that's not so bad. Exploding chariots, who thought of that? Who thought that would be a good idea? I wonder, was there any form of gunpowder used in like ancient Roman, ancient Greek warfare? I don't think there was. I've certainly not heard about it if there was. But imagine if like they had the Trojan horse, but it was full of gunpowder instead of an army. And there was like a fuse set to just detonate after a certain point. It's kind of wild how much things like gunpowder changed the state of warfare. I took a... Oh, 1 second.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Yep, called it. Death Defiance restores 10% more HP and gets an additional use. I think we have to take this, because now I have 2 resurrections and I heal up to 60% when I resurrect. Like 40% more damage on my attack sounds nice, but another res sounds even nicer. I'm not fighting another mini-boss because that'll just be the butterfly ball. Anything to sell here? Dash can deflect, resist traps. No, none of this is appealing to me. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna take the easier room on this one. There's no point in fighting a mini-boss that I don't need to. Take this. Yeah. So I forgot how good Athena's dash is against these enemies in particular. As long as I don't go point blank and just face tank a projectile, you know? But, they basically get one shot by their own attack by me just dashing into it. Again, I kind of have to do it correctly. I took far more damage this room than I should have, and that's going to be very bad going into Theseus and Asterius. I don't really have any excuses other than I am bad at video games. Wow. I got so cocky in this room, and I am being punished dearly for it. Alright. On the bright side, the next room will give us 2 options to choose from. I think I need to focus down this chariot. Oh, good. Another armored chariot. Oh, good. Please leave me be. Whoop. Oh, right, I forgot. I can dash over gaps, which means I can potentially evade them pretty reliably. Alright, that one's almost dead, so let's get this guy gone. There we go. Okay. And now we just unlock this one. Just having a moment of my dash is on a brief cooldown and I can't cross the chasm. And there we go. Alright, I took way too much damage in this room. Alright, so coins or a pomegranate? I think I'm going to go for the coins and hope that I can buy an HP up in the room before Theseus and Asterion. And as long as I reflect their attack back at them, I can probably kill them from a pretty safe distance without having too much catastrophe that's self-induced. The main downside to this is I can't keep track of what projectiles are now mine because I reflected them versus theirs. But having these guys and using these guys' projectiles to my advantage will work if I remember to dash into them. Will work if I remember to dash into them. Oh boy. Oh, I see. What happened was I hit it with my projectile and it detonated early. Gotcha. Oh boy. This is a little overwhelming, so we're just going to back off and use a cast. We're getting rid of this guy now. He's a problem. Sorry, this room took a far bit more brain than I expected it needed to. Taking way more hits than I need to as well. Here, this should kill off the eyeball, and now I can finish him relatively free. Whew. Some hard rooms, not gonna lie, some difficult rooms we've just passed through. Alright, so this is a shop, which means I believe that's the last room before we go into the boss fight. Please give me HP. I don't want to waste both my resurrections on this fight, but I definitely foresee myself... Oh, Kiwi. This could be big.
I can use this.
You must forgive us, little godling, meaning our extended family here upon Olympus. Some of us are terribly stuck up and must be making matters much more complicated than they have to be.
Please, please.
I wonder,
Oh.
dearest Aphrodite, whether you'd be willing to repeat such things directly to my countenance.
Oh, you must know full well that I would do much more than that directly to your countenance, Athena dear. Quite frankly, you could use a lot of work.
Oh, what a fun pair. Parting shot. Your cast gains any bonuses you have for striking foes from behind. Completely useless for me because I have none of those. So this actually gives less damage up than the... This actually gives less damage up than the Athena. And it doesn't reflect, but it does apply a weak, so I think it's still the best option. Or I get 5-second longer duration on the... No. If I'm going to be auto-attacking anyway, I think we need the damage increase. And then I can either take the HP up, or let's see, this heals me for 88 HP. That'll bring me back to full, pretty much. Or I take 25 HP and get even tankier, with the guarantee that I'll be full HP after fighting Asterius and Theseus. Tough decision here. Wait, I'm dumb. I can afford both of these.
Should come in useful.
Okay, 250 HP. We're looking a little bit strong here, Kiwi. Alright, here we go.
Hey everyone, I'm back.
So, the Fiend returns to challenge us again, Asterius. Or rather, to besmirch the honor of this competition.
Besmirch what honor? You're just complaining that you lost, even though I was outnumbered.
Silence, you monster. I'll hear no more such wicked lies, half-truths, or quarter-truths. You, however, soon shall hear my blessed spear. Specifically, the sound it makes whilst sliding into your exposed midsection. Defend yourself!
Theseus is such a sad, sore loser. It's kind of funny. Alright, so I think the best decision is to try and... Maybe I let... I don't know. I don't actually know whether I should focus down Theseus or Asterius in this situation. I feel like maybe Asterius is the better option. They're also way less tankier than mini-boss Asterius, so that's nice. I can reflect his spear. Oh, these guys are... I think I take down Asterius first. I don't want to have to deal with him calling the gods on me. Theseus specifically. While I'm dealing with Asterius. So yeah, I think I take out the bull first. As long as I pay attention to the reticle on me, I should be able to avoid or even reflect Theseus' spear pretty reliably. Yeah, I'm reflecting his spear back at him. It's pretty funny. It also helps that he kind of announces it sometimes. Alright, he's half dead. Plus I can reflect Asterius' projectiles now too when he does his landing dash. It's a little harder to do so though. Alright. But this still feels relatively doable. I'm probably gonna get punished for that thought on the whatever it's called, the Temple of Styx. But I occasionally crit, which also very much helps. The main thing I need to do is just pay attention to the reticle that that Theseus puts on me every now and again. I am taking so many unnecessary hits from Asterius. Got some really good damage on him there. Whoop. Like, I do not need to be in melee range, but I'm like... Because I took the boon that doubles my shot but lowers my range, I am like just barely outside of his range to be able to hit him at full distance. Or I have to charge up for a fairly long amount of time. Whoop. I knew he was going to dash a third time, but I still didn't react to it appropriately. Alright, one more hit. Or 2 more hits. And there we go. Oh my goodness, you're way tankier than you look. Okay, that's one. Now we just have to take out this guy. He's so annoying though with his shield. But it's pretty easy to hit him from behind as long as I position correctly. It is funny that I keep reflecting a spear back at him though. I feel like he would be very upset by that. If I can get him to trigger his melee attack, I can pretty reliably get a free hit on him. Oh, he turned around. Never mind. Okay, I guess he turns around when he does his dash. It's fine. This boss becomes a lot easier once there's only one of them. I will say his shield is very annoying to deal with when you're ranging. How many hits has he blocked now? How many times have I blocked his projectile too is also the other funny question that I have to ask. So, I know I stacked a lot into this cast, and it's not necessarily doing a lot of damage. It's more for the multiple enemy type rooms. It's not really great for bosses. Alright, halfway there.
Lady Artemis, I beg you, guide my spear.
I guess they're testing me.
Oh no. Whoa! Yeah, there wasn't much I could do there. At the very least, I got the weak on him, so that I took 30% reduced damage from that, plus the 10% that I got from that Artemis not Artemis, Athena passive from earlier.
You know that, don't you?
He's so angry. So confident. Like, Asterius is what Ferdinand von Aegir would be if he was not a good boy. I'm glad Ferdinand is a good boy, though. Yeah, he got me. I think there's a reasonable chance I make it through this without dying, but it's not a guaranteed just yet. Artemis is making things a little bit difficult, for sure. Really feeling limited range on this build right now. Nope. Ooh. I think I dodged that, but no, I do think that actually hit me. I would really like not to die. Did you not hear what I just said, game? But look at that, I'm restored with 140 HP, or 150 HP. Alright. I'll just play the rest of this a bit safer. The center of the stage is basically off limit. I have to stick to the perimeter. It's very hard to sneak in a hit when he's just running around like this and constantly turns his shield towards me, and I can't... My options for positioning are very limited because of Artemis constantly launching her attack. I want to at the very least try and keep up the weak on him, but if he blocks the hit, the debuff doesn't get activated. Sir, please. Yeah. This is kind of annoying. I'm sure it's a skill issue. Like, I could position better. But, like, in that instance, he just had his back against the pillar. I basically just have to wait for him to attack, and then I get behind him after that while he repositions. Almost got him now. There we go. What an annoying boss. Oh my goodness. Honestly, it might be easier when he's on his chariot. We'll see, though. But we're going to have a lot of things that we can buy on the mirror now with all this... Are they Erebus shards? I don't actually know what the currency in this game is called. We need to get our keepsakes, too. I saw that we could unlock it, but we needed more of those gem currencies that allow us to buy things. Right. Gotta use this first. Fair enough.
I needed one of those.
Ooh, if only if I had the money. I guess we hold on to our money for now. Unless there's something I can sell here. No. Definitely not, and definitely not. I mean, actually, I could give this up now, honestly. Since I'm using my Y attacks primarily, I think honestly I will give this up. Maybe I get a Dionysus special.
Won't be needing that.
It's still not enough to be able to afford the extra Death Defiance, though, unless... No, 12% damage and 10% damage reduction are too good to give up. But there will be other shops in the future, so maybe I'll find it. But I don't need to use my special anymore if I have the weak on my basic attack, which is where most of my damage is coming from anyway. I wish I had the stronger... I wish I had gotten something that wasn't common on the basic attack. It's fine, though. Is there nothing to interact with here? Because it feels like there should be. Forgive me if I miss those little circles. They're very hard for me to see. Alright, Temple of Styx. Hey, look, an Aphrodite. And a Zeus. And an HP up. I can almost afford both Zeus and HP up. I think what I'll do is I'll hold until I see what can be bought. Or gained. There's a Dionysus, but this has a mini-boss. I kind of want to risk it. I'm inclined to risk it. I think I can do this. Kiwi, I'm going for it. It's probably a mistake.
You.
Definitely feeling the lack of damage now that we've gotten further in. Or maybe I'm just remembering how out of control my builds used to get. It's quite possible that's part of it too. But we'll get there eventually, even if it's not this run. But I mean, we made it to the Temple of Styx a second time, which I'd say considering I'm shaking off some rust from when I last played Hades, it feels pretty good to be both back in the game and having immediate payoff for the time I spent playing this back in the day. Like, am I showing anything amazing? No, I'm playing a ranged build in a game where you can kite enemies. It's not like this is this doesn't feel incredible. But it feels good to at least know that I can do this. Even if it is kind of a play lame win game sort of thing. But I promise you this, I will be using all of the builds. I'm going to, at the very least, get a clear with every weapon so that I get the full extent of their what's it called? Oh no, where is it? Okay, it's here. Alright, not terrible amount of damage, that's fine. Okay. You know, it's kind of funny, I'm missing the weak on my Y for these big enemy rooms. Because it was a lot easier to get the, it was so much easier to get the weak off on enemies by using the Y attack, or the special attack. So, just for context, the basic attack is X, the special attack is Y. Alright, what's our mini-boss? How bad is this going to be?
That's the most gigantic vermin I've ever seen.
Okay, that is a gigantic vermin. Wonder if we can use these to our benefit. Yeah, I can probably... This isn't the rat that I'm thinking of that was a difficult boss to deal with, so this is fine, honestly, so far at least. Might want to try and get rid of his little projectile allies, though, because they'll be a pain to deal with. I assume they respawn. Whoop! Wasn't paying attention, almost got hit by both of those. Alright, yeah, let's get rid of these projectile spammers. I'm gonna try and focus on dealing trap damage to these if I can, because look, that's a 600 damage hit. Alright, so it does spawn more allies over time, but this seems like a very easy to kite kind of boss. The main issue is mostly just these allies of it spawning in and keeping me from camping. But they're easily dealt with. And if I just keep using these traps to my advantage, I will whittle this boss's HP bar away over time. Only 12 damage from the guillotine. Yeah, the trap damage reduction, that 12 was a 60% damage reduction on that hit that I just took, and it did 12 damage to me after being reduced by that much. So that probably would have been like a solid 30 damage hit if I had gotten hit by it. I don't know where this rat is. There it is. Here, take another hit for me. And there we go. Alright, Daddy Dionysus, what you got? Don't call him Daddy. Special inflicts hangover, drunken dash. Okay, so this would replace my Athena dash. Or take less damage when at 15 or below. I think I want this because 6 damage every half second up to stacking 5 times. Seems really good and really easy to get going with my Y attack. But this is so appealing. This is so dangerously appealing. I think I'm going to take the damage reduction, honestly. Oh, this is hard to say. I'm taking the damage reduction. I'm just going a full tank build on this run, which is really lame, but it's kind of funny at the same time. Oh, hey, look, a dot that I could have interacted with. Oops. I'm sorry. Alright. Well, I have the Y attack and I have Zeus. Or I could go for another HP up. I'm gonna get the mini bosses out of the way, I think, first. We'll see how lucky I am in terms of what I actually get. And I learned my lesson from the last run. These satyrs are a problem, so we want to kill them as soon as possible. Okay. What will we get here? That's a lot of satyrs. Oh, those aren't satyrs. Just need to keep the attack up on the satyr before it gets its poison shot off. And my attack speed is just fast enough that I can stagger lock them without getting hit. The timing's kind of not persnickety so much as just a learning curve, if you will. And until I break this thing's shield, I can't stagger lock it, so I had to hide from its lasers. But only one enemy, that's not bad. Now I think this is the final room. What's our mini boss going to be? Oh, the satyr sack.
I feel stronger.
Okay.
Oh, what is this stuff?
I'm basically full HP. Alright, what do you have to say?
Deep within the desecrated layer of the god-defiling satyrs lie the noisome contents of their profane rituals, so foul as to be indescribable.
So,
Cerberus just loves the stuff.
So what's funny about this build right now is, again, keep in mind...
Time to deliver the goods.
Oh, hold on.
The vast temple of Styx and its innumerable dangers now are all that separates the underworld prince from the land outside, which he so desperately longs to see.
I've almost made it.
The funny thing about this build right now is simply the fact that for me to have 60% damage reduction, or I think it, whatever, for me to get the passive for damage reduction below a threshold, I need to be below like 125 HP, which is more HP than I start with by a fair bit. I kind of want to do these bonus rooms just to get something on my Y attack. Or I could take another HP up. I feel like I need, what do I need? I need 275 gold altogether to buy the heart and the Zeus. Or was that a Zeus? That was Zeus. I think, honestly, I'm going to go for Zeus here because I can stack more Zeus and potentially get a duo boon. I forget what the duo boon between Athena and Zeus and or Aphrodite was, but it's, okay, well, we're going to take some damage, but that's honestly fine. Like, I have so much, oh goodness, this is a bad room, Kiwi. that's the nature of this, though. You never know which room is going to have the Satyr Sack, and you'll often guess wrong, or inconveniently. Maybe this was a mistake, but I'm going for some fun. If this is how I throw the run, so be it. I do think at least one duo boon would do us very good, as long as it's not the Afro Athena one, because that one does nothing for how I've built so far. I have no effects that deal extra damage against the back attack, because I've only gotten the one Athena ability, really. I'm like just barely outside of range of that poison puddle. I got lucky. And also, as long as I don't take more damage, I should be able to heal back most of what I took. These laser things are annoying, though. Let's do some damage there. I'm gonna get behind this guy and try and take him out. Alright, so didn't necessarily make back what we lost, but we're maintaining relatively well. Alright, what is our final room gonna be? Oh, this isn't the final room, never mind. I did a fancy little 360 no-scope there. I don't know why, but I did. It was funny. Well, I can completely safe spot these guys. If they came into my range, I'm definitely not going to them. That looks like just a pile of bad times. I don't think I've ever noticed that the fumes that are coming off of the poison puddles are actually little green skulls. That's cute. Alright, I only need 12 more gold. Hopefully I'll get it in this next room, and then I'll be able to afford both of those things in the shop. Okay, ooh, armored satyrs, not fun, but I can poison them. I might be able to use these traps to my advantage too, which I just did. Alright, that guy dies to his own poison, which is funny, but I am going to die to his poison as well. Oh no, oh, where's the... oh gosh. Oh, that wasn't good. Yeah, these bonus rooms were definitely not a good decision, but we're gonna make it work. And the cool thing is, at least I got their poison on themselves, so they die a little bit faster. Oh good, there are more. I'm gonna try and kite them into these saw blades. Yeah, that kills them pretty reliably. And this should finish it. Just outside my range. Oh, I dashed right into that. Unfortunate. Alright, so I lost about a third of my HP, but it's still fine. And we got enough gold. Excellent. Special causes lightning bolt to strike nearby foes, which deals 30 damage. Chain lightning effects bounce more. I don't even have chain lightning. Whatever. We'll take this. Not that it'll do anything much for us, but on the off chance that the second Zeus boon that I get in the next room ends up giving us a duo boon.
One Satyr Sack for one good boy.
Because I believe the way duo boons work is you need to have at least one of the core 4 abilities, so dash, special, basic attack, and cast. And then eventually we'll get a 5th option when we get the calls. So let's see what we get.
I'll take it. I see the people of the underworld has found the means to reach you with my blessing, nephew. Such strange alliances we forge these days.
Alright, so unlucky, no duo boon, but that's good. That'll be good. Yeah, we'll do jolt damage is damage. And there we go. Alright, so we are monstrously tanky. And we're heading into Hades.
Accepts the sack.
Thanks, boy. Time to go.
I love that it just has to clarify that he's fine, even though it says we vanquished him. Cerberus is such a good boy. He does his job diligently, but he loves his Zagreus too.
You're not going to stop me.
The sea, the heavens and the earth. All of this belongs to my brothers. We are their kin by birth, but we are foreigners in their country.
No. No mournful speeches. Now get out of my way.
You impertinent brat. Fine. Impulsiveness. runs in the family.
That it do.
Shut up.
Alright, let's see how much this Thunderbolt damage actually does. Feels like a decent amount. Alright, we need to get weak on him ASAP. Yeah, this boss becomes immensely more... Oh, right. This boss does become immeasurably more easy to deal with when I have 2 dashes, because it makes it much easier to dodge his attack. I don't think I'm going to be able to kill that before it does that. Yep. Okay. Can I cast and find him? Whoop. I do like to try and take out these so I don't have to deal with their icky nonsense, if you will, for lack of a better phrasing. So what I should do is I should alternate my basic attack with my special attack so I can get jolted on him. And this should help me find him when he's in this. How did he end up behind me is the question there. Alright, yeah. The second dash makes such a difference in how easy it is to deal with this guy on his, like, earlier phases. Now, the real question is, does he have a third phase? Or is he just 2 phases? I forget. I know he does have a third phase, I just don't know if we have it. But we're gonna deal with it right now. I like that I keep reflecting his projectile back at him. We are so unnecessarily tanky, it's kind of hilarious. Alright, halfway there.
I guess so. Wretched excuse for a father.
Can't seem to damage that. Oh, what's that? I forgot what this means. I think it makes it so I take more damage when I get hit, maybe? Oh, right, he throws it. It's when I'm holding his cast. Okay. Oh, dear. Whoa. Alright, so things are definitely a little bit dicier. I'm going to depend on Jolted for a little bit to deal damage to everything. Okay, I did not need to get hit by that, honestly. Alright, shield's broken on that. Good, that enemy is dead. And again, I just have to remember to get Jolted casted on these guys, because then every time they attack, they're going to take damage even if I'm busy dodging them. Get rid of that while I can. There you are. I see your feet. I see your feet, Prince. You do the same thing Zagreus does. Man. Would you kindly not do that, sir? I can't tell if he's invulnerable when he's using darkness or not, but it's fine. We should start whittling away his HP again. The less he uses his cast, the better. It distracts me from what I need to do. And so he starts using it non-stop. Okay, cute 80s. Yeah, there's such a delay on that attack. I really don't need to be afraid of it nearly as badly as I was treating it. Here, I don't think I can do it does multiple Thunderbolts when I hit him with multiple hits of the special attack. It's not like Dionysus or Aphrodite where the pardon me, where their passives start stacking up. I'm just gonna let this one blow up. There we go. Alright. This is a war of attrition, but so yeah. Same strategy as before. Stack Jolted on these guys so that they're taking damage regardless of whether I'm hitting them or not. But try and get weaks off on them as well. Or debuff them with weak where I can. And kill his projectiles where I can as well. I'm just gonna have to dodge that, that's fine. Whoop. Glad that I can reflect those projectiles and do some damage with them as well. Again, I'm just gonna let this one explode on, like, time out. That's fine. This last enemy that he summoned should be dealt with shortly. Taking a lot of damage, but I think I have at least one more resurrection. I don't want to make the terrible fatal assumption that I have 2, though. Ah, well, that almost Okay, I'm 1 hit from death. Not ideal. But I should have... Wait, why don't I have another resurrection?
Finished here. I can get back to work.
That's unfortunate. You know what it is? I got the Athena ability that says replenishes 1 Death Defiance, but my cap of Death Defiance was still only 1. That must have been what it was. Oh well. Well, you know what? Still a very solid run. Pretty funny that we got that tanky. A shame we didn't win, but next time maybe I just prioritize damage over survivability.
Redacted's got you again, huh? Here's the thing, I keep asking around about them, and no one seems to know what I'm talking about. Could you maybe describe them for me, please?
I feel like
ask Father when he's back.
I feel like Hypnos would get along with Linhardt from.
Boy? Eating well lately? All 3 mouths full and happy?
You know why we lost that run?
Each terrifying maw of the infernal watchdog Cerberus responds affirmatively, one after the next, as if to reassure the ever-doubting prince.
We lost that run because I forgot to pet Cerberus.
You don't like it when I pet your other heads, huh? No.
Alright. Note taken. Only pet left head of Cerberus. You're a good boy, Cerberus. Sorry I forgot to pet you. Yeah. We'll just have to start every run with a pet for Cerberus.
You'll get the hang of it out there, lad. For all our sparring practice, there's no teacher like the real thing. Now then, I have something for you.
What have you got?
What, wait, you're giving me your codex? I can't accept something like this.
Please, I insist. I want your love of history to grow, not just your love of warfare. Besides, maybe you can finish out the rest of it.
I'm grateful.
That's the goal, honestly. I'd like to reach max affinity with every character in the game. I see that to get their trinkets, I need to give them an ambrosia, so that's probably where I'll start. I have to remember what trinkets were the best. I know each of the gods.
How goes it, Shanes?
Hey, who's the one with the whip? She's something else. Cause of death, murder. I remember that the god-associated trinkets just make it so that they're the first boon you encounter in your run, I believe, which can be really strong for getting off on the right foot.
Something from the Fates.
A shame I still don't have any resource to afford this yet, but I remember how much I grinded out resources just to upgrade the House of Hades. It's kind of cool that you just get to see this entire place get progressively more upgraded.
What once was a small lounging area within the House of Hades now is sealed off, in utter shambles since the multi-headed Cerberus tore the space apart, mourning the missing prince.
Oh, Cerby.
Cerberus destroyed the lounge again.
Again.
I trust that the mirror in your bedchamber has proved satisfactory, dear child.
Better than I could have possibly imagined, Nyx. You mentioned there was something more that it could do once I had grown accustomed. I think I'm ready for that now.
I think you are as well. Then it shall be as you wish.
Thank you.
Excellent. Alright, so that might be the inverse mirror powers, I forget. If that's how we unlock it. I know they come eventually, so basically it's kind of like... Well, it'll be easier if I just show you potentially. Let's see what it looks like.
The mirror's grown in power. Thank you, Nyx.
So, I actually... Okay, I think... Nope, it's not that. So, eventually it'll be that you can choose... Oh, here it is, yes. So, for example, here, I can swap between these two options. Shadow Presence, deal bonus attack and special damage when striking from behind, versus Fiery Presence, deal bonus attack and special damage when striking undamaged enemies. I think I tend to favor this one, just because it's very hard to hit people from the back reliably. Let's see what this does. Dark Regeneration. Restore some of your HP when you collect Erebus Shards. Assuming... I'm just going to call them Erebus Shards until I know for sure what they actually are. Death Defiance versus restore 30% HP instead of dying when your life total is depleted 1 time per chamber. Why would I choose... So this is per chamber rather than per... Now, does chamber refer to the floors or the individual rooms? I would hope that it means the individual rooms, but that's really good. I'll stick with this for now because I have it unlocked and I can't afford the other one. Greater reflex, perform 1 additional dash, or gain 50% damage and dodge chance for a second when you dash just before getting hit. Okay. I don't have the keys to be able to afford to unlock more things here just yet. I thought I had 4 keys. It looks like I only have... Oh no, I do. I do have 4 keys. Okay. So I can afford to unlock a bunch of things. I forget. Are there any that are really good for me right now? I think I'll hold on to my stuff for now and wait until I can...
Who needs sleep?
Until I can afford some more fancy things. Let's see. If I recall, there will eventually become a point where I can look at my desk and see fancy things as well. Alright, let's talk to Skelly, look at Tartarus, and then call it a night. Or a morning? Or, I guess, yeah, it's still morning. Wow, that's weird.
Boyo, next time you make it to the big VIP area upstairs, you watch out for those weapon-wielding gents out there. The eyeball soul thing that pops out when you beat them, you gotta squash those too, or else they'll grab their gear and come right back.
Crush the souls of Elysium's exalted shades to stop them from regenerating over and over. I'll definitely do that next time I'm there.
Seems reasonable.
The courtyard of the House of Hades is kept neat and orderly, in contrast to the terrifying sprawl that lies beyond.
It's not that orderly, really.
Alright, maybe the next run we do, we'll try the shield.
Long way to go. I think I'm ready.
Yeah, why don't we do that? We'll do the shield this time.
Got something new to try.
Perfect. Okay, we do have these now. Automatically restore 50 HP when your life total is depleted once per escape attempt. Yeah, well, I'm glad I accidentally gave the thing to Skelly, because that sounds exactly like what I need right now.
Might help.
Alright. Would have been nice to have had that equipped for the last run, you know? That might have actually made a big difference. Unfortunate. So, spear or shield? I definitely want to go shield first.
Open up. Aegis, shield of chaos. Lend me your power.
Yeah, so... I remember this is really fun, especially if you stack Hangover with it. Maybe I should have taken that Dionysus passive with the Hangover, or for my special attack. Oh well, I'm afforded hindsight in the moment. Right, I forgot there's a dash attack. This is where the shield really gets strong because while I'm holding this, I block damage from the front. But I have a I think it's the shield of... Oh, I'm forgetting the name. The God of Chaos. I think it's his shield, but it splits and then bounces everywhere. It's such a fun build. Anyway, Kiwi, that's enough for today, I think. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. With a shield. A big, spooky shield.